If you grew up in the 1990s, then you already know just how ridiculous public service announcements were. And for those of you who may not be old enough or didn't watch television back then for whatever reason, PSAs in the 90s were just ridiculous. Like, they made absolutely no sense. That's why today on the Touchback, we're going to look at 3 of the most ridiculous PSAs from the 90s.
Easy. Hey, you.
Me?
Yeah. Did you ever try cigarettes?
I was 14.
Any reason?
I guess I was trying to be cool or something.
Really?
Well, yeah.
So you tried it because other people were doing it?
Yeah, I guess.
And why don't you do it anymore?
A lot of reasons. Just didn't like it, you know? I don't need to smoke to, like, fit in. Hold up. We finished?
Firstly, if that kid looks familiar, it's because he would grow up to be Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's not why this PSA is ridiculous, though. The premise of this public service announcement, even today, it makes no sense. Why is it starting out like every Bang Bus movie ever with some dude holding a camera like POVing a rando in the street? Secondly, why would a adult male with a camera be allowed to loiter outside of a school in the first place? Stranger danger was a very real thing at this point in the 90s. No teenager's gonna randomly stop and let me tell you about when I smoked when I was 14. A very specific answer to a pretty open-ended question. 20 plus years later, this PSA still makes absolutely no sense.
Why don't you come up here, Pumpkin?
What are you doing, Larry?
Well, Vince, I've asked my pumpkin to sit on my lap to prove a point.
And what is that, your Larryness?
Even if we fasten our safety belts, even if you hold on tight, even if you were watching the road, in a crash, your pumpkin will be nothing but a squash.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Use child safety seats.
We love that little pumpkin to pieces.
We're going to give you a little 2 for the price of 1 here because there's another Crash Test Dummies PSA that's basically on the same topic. So let's see that one right now.
If you don't use his car seat, your child won't be disappointed.
He'll be crushed.
Sorry, Chip.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Use child safety seats.
Don't get me wrong. These 2 PSAs from the Crash Test Dummies are entertaining. However, the message they're trying to convey of put your child in the back seat or else it's going to die is not particularly well received here. It's safe to say that anyone who saw this ad and wasn't putting their child in the car seat in the back seat wasn't going to do so after seeing one of these PSAs from the Crash Test Dummies.
Where's dinner?
Well, I thought you'd be home a couple of hours ago, and I put everything away.
What is this? Pizza?
You had just called me. I would have known what...
Dinner ready is pizza.
Honey, please don't be so loud. Please don't... Let go of me!
Get in the kitchen!
No!
Do you want to see what hurts? That's what hurts! That's what hurts!
Oh, please! Please!
For information, call 1-800-END-ABUSE.
Here's the deal. Domestic abuse is not funny, and it remains a problem throughout the world to this day. That being said, whoever wrote this PSA and whoever directed it wildly missed the mark in trying to stress that message. Instead, you get this unintentionally jokey announcement that remains hilarious even now. Let's start with the whole notion of somebody being upset about pizza being what's for dinner. That is the most asinine premise that's ever been trotted out in any PSA in the history of mankind. People don't get upset when pizza is for dinner, especially when they're scumbag, white trash, domestic abusers. There's no way in hell that guy was going to be pissed off about having pizza for dinner. I mean, what were the other options going to be? Like a nice hearty meatloaf or some shake and bake chicken? No, like pizza was a totally acceptable dinner in that scenario for that guy. Moving away from the absurdity of the premise itself, I want to highlight the sound of the quote-unquote slap. Let's listen to that. Now, let's listen to the whip from the song Whip It by Devo. That's basically the same sound. I mean, come on, sound guy. You couldn't have gotten something a little more realistic or at least a little less plagiarized? It's just ridiculous on all levels. Now it's your turn to tell us your favorite absurd PSAs in the comments section below. And a word of advice, if you're making dinner tonight, maybe go with something other than pizza. For the touchback, I'm Cheyenne Hollis, and remember to take it out to the 25.